60, 59, 58.
Dale, can you hear me?
I'm not muting it. He muted it.
Okay.
$23, $22. $15, $14.
That's perfect. Hello everyone, welcome to Birding Live on location in Africa, brought to you by Swarovski Optik and andBeyond. I'm Daryl Dell, andBeyond's private specialist guide, and I'm based in andBeyond Phinda Private Game Reserve in South Africa. Today though, I'm actually birding in a really beautiful reserve called Quailfinch Game Reserve, which is a neighbor to Phinda. Out in this direction here is a beautiful coastal scarp forest, and in this area behind me is some flowering trees. So I'm hoping to show you a variety of sunbirds, possibly some crested Guineafowls, maybe a red-capped robin-chat, and if we're really lucky in the forest, even an arena trogon. Joining me are 6 andBeyond teams at various areas or regions throughout South Africa and Botswana, and we're armed with the brand new Swarovski NL Pure binoculars, Swarovski spotting scopes, and we're going to try to showcase the really beautiful wildlife and especially birds that the regions have to offer. Please bear with us those that we are in remote locations and the signal might be up and down. So we are going to try our best to see as much as we can, obviously. We are filming with our phones. We might drop a phone or drop a pair of binoculars. So it's part of the fun of birding in the bush, I suppose. Also, don't forget to ask questions in the comment sections below. Anyway, enough talking. I'm so excited about this afternoon. Let's go birding. Woo! I'm going to quickly slip in my VPA here. So just give me a second. I've got some beautiful, I've had quite a lot of beautiful sunbirds in this Scotia brachypetala, which is a weeping boerbean. And it's a perfect time of the year for us to be here. We've had some sort of early rains, and it's getting quite warm. It's the beginning of spring, and let me just try get this on here. Just give me a second. Okay, let's see. Murphy's law at the moment is that, oh, okay, hang on, I've had an olive sunbird calling out all afternoon. There it is there. You're also going to help me, everyone everyone that's watching. It's quite difficult to see through the phone when you're actually using the binoculars, but that was a beautiful olive sunbird, which is mainly a very coastal species. But because of the altitude where I'm right now, up on the hilltop, these sunbirds are found here, but they're quite uncommon in between here and the coast. So that was an awesome little bird to see. This weeping boerbean at the moment gone a little bit quiet. I saw a beautiful little collared sunbird here as well. In fact, one's just flown over my head calling.
Hi, Dee. That's a beautiful way to start with an olive sunbird. So we had an Inyala. I know we are birding this afternoon, but we've had an Inyala coming to drink as well.
Oh, beautiful. Gee.
Yeah. It's been a bit of a cooler afternoon, so we're quite lucky to have something come down to the pan.
It looks drink a bit for overcast. Looks a bit
It
overcast
is,
there,
yes.
Kerry, still. Can you see
It
my
is, but
beautiful blue sky that I brought with me over here?
I know, I'm very jealous actually. That's what we were hoping for today in terms of birding. Would have
Yeah.
been quite nice. We do have some activity there. A lot of what we've got is a little bit further away. We're going to swap over to some doves that are just on our right-hand side. We've had quite a few emerald spotted wood doves coming down to drink, but it's also maybe a couple of red-eyed doves that we're going to get the camera on now. There we go.
Ah, beautiful.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You got any more sunbirds hopping around in there?
It's Murphy's Law, Clive. It's whenever, this whole afternoon I've been waiting. There's been a beautiful variety. Yes, collared, purple banded, and then as soon as you get the cameras on, then they
Of course.
disappear.
Yeah,
That's
that's
always
it.
happened. We were
Give
also
me a bit of
hoping
a
that
chance.
there's a Scotia where we are at the moment as well, but it's not in flower yet, although it's not blooming yet, so that would have been amazing.
Yeah, there's some beautiful coral trees here also in flower, so there's quite a choice.
Oh,
I'm
good.
just gonna
Lovely.
wait
We've
a while.
also we were lucky enough we had 2 golden-breasted buntings not too long ago, so we're having a scan for that on
And
the edges as well.
and an eastern Nikita, which was quite a special
Oh.
one for us.
Gee
So
whiz,
we're hoping
you
that
got to
that
get on.
will come back.
You've got to get onto that one for all of us.
Yeah. But because of the overcast weather, there's not as many birds coming down to drink on the edge, so we're watching out very carefully for that as well.
Yeah. What about have you got any pink-throated Twinspots that you've heard calling this afternoon surrounding?
Haven't even heard calling,
band?
no, but we did hear Palace.
Sorry,
Oh.
Didi, I'm just going to disturb you. We've actually got
No, go
2
for it.
Inyala that are displaying at one another. It's going to be a little bit difficult to see, but they're busy doing their lateral display. If I
Wow.
can find them, that is. Through the thicket. Sorry, just give me a second to orientate myself. Okay, where is he? There we go.
Well done.
So I don't know how well you can see, or if you can see that hair on his back is actually standing up quite a lot. And
Gee whiz,
usually
that
there
is-
must be another male just to the left there. Right. Oh, we actually
Sure.
had a bird jump into the frame as well there, which was quite lucky. I don't know what it was.
Sure, I wonder if
Often
it's
the eastern Nikitas at this time of the year are often staying quite close to the Nyalas. Maybe
Yeah.
we might get lucky with them close to the Nyala there.
You read
Yeah,
my
so what
mind,
happens?
Clive. Especially in winter.
For everyone,
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Kerry, go for it.
no, I was just going to say for everyone who doesn't know, sorry, we've actually lost it again. We might swap the camera back onto us. But what we're actually saying is now at this time of year, there we go. Hello, everyone.
Hi.
We're actually seeing a lot of the nyalas being followed by those kind of things as they walk, obviously flushing the insects that are around.
Yeah. In fact, I've actually seen over the years, especially in sort of more winter months, that we've that the yellow-bellied greenbills as well. They actually gleaning ticks off them as well. That'd be awesome to get on film.
Yeah,
For sure. And I've seen it with eastern Nikita as well. Oh, we've got
Oh, we've got
another
another Nyala
Nyala coming to drink. So we're going to flip the camera again.
Awesome. I'm actually just walking to, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a incredible eye-level Scotia weeping boorbean
Oh, that is
in flower in
amazing.
front of me. And
Oh, wow.
just want to try to get a bit closer and get some birds in here
Yeah.
without
So
disturbing
that
them.
is very unusual to have a full flowering boorbean at that level. That's amazing.
Yeah, very low down.
Yeah.
Let's hope
Oh,
there's
this
the
is
birds
super
there.
interesting. We actually have
Then
an
that's good.
Inyala who's busy horning the mud as well. Sorry to disturb
Oh,
you,
wow.
Didi.
Gee whiz, no,
Let's
go
see,
for
I'm
it.
Look at that
Everything's up.
mud. Look at the mud all over his horns there.
And watch how the back of his hair, all his fur is going to stand up on the back of his head or neck
Oh,
as well.
there he goes.
Guess we've got a lot of competition going on here between us, eh?
Yeah.
Have you got any sunbirds there that side?
Yeah, actually, there's there's a looks like a little grey sunbird there. But as I said, I'm waiting for comments from all my birders out there that can actually help me, because it's difficult to actually see
Ooh.
what you're looking at. I need a, but it looks like it could be a little grey sunbird. Looks like it's got a beautiful bluish wing patch there.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then collared sunbird in there as well.
Oh
Look at
my
that.
Oh my
word!
word!
Look at that
So much going on
yellow.
there.
That is a beautiful
wow.
sunbird.
He's
Wow!
saying also. Yeah, there he goes. Oh wow. Forgive me for not focusing properly.
No, it's actually perfect right now. That is amazing. That iridescent green on the back with the yellow is just incredible.
Wow. I'm actually quite close to this tree. They almost don't want to disturb them. But
Oh, you're
when
doing very
they're
well at the
so
moment.
when they're so excited about all this nectar, they seem pretty relaxed. The downside is there's quite a lot of other flowering trees in the camp here, so there's quite a lot of choice.
You can move around between them.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, there's a this could be a little amethyst sunbird that's flown in here, which is also
Oh my word!
which is very exciting for our area, as you know. We don't often see them.
Yeah.
Hardly ever.
Yeah, the Scarlet-chested is more common. Yeah, here he
It looks
comes.
like we're gonna have to start keeping a sunbird list of all the ones you
Oof.
see there today.
Yeah. That's incredible. Have you guys got the zebra there? Who's got the zebra?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're very lucky. They just walked
Wow.
into the view. They just
Good.
chased the nyala away. You'll see
Waiting
there's a
for a
few more
lion
that are going to
to-
walk into the frame.
Waiting for a lion to come out of the bush there, guys. Come on.
But you joke,
Jesus.
but I'm pretty sure they've actually had a lion kill something in front of the lodge
Yeah,
here where we are.
Impala.
That'd be amazing. Yeah, so
Yeah.
geez, it's been a productive little tree this one. So I've had amethyst sunbird, collared sunbird, grey sunbird. There's a dark cap bulbul. Oh, there's still a dark cap bulbul in here somewhere. Yeah, very productive little tree.
That's got to be one of my favorite flowering trees to just sit at and watch what birds come along.
Yeah, I agree with you, Clive. Isn't it incredible? This Muputland or Pindi area when they're flowering and full flower in about a couple of weeks' time, you just look up from a hill and you just see this bright red pockets all over Pindi. It's
Yeah.
pretty.
And you just
pretty
know you can.
impressive.
Oh, we've got a question, I think, from Josh asking Didi, do the sunbirds like specific species of trees?
Yeah, Josh. There are some specific kinds of trees, but basically any trees with flowers, nectar. At this time of the year, we've got this one, as it's called a weeping boerbean or a Scotia brachybetala. In the camp, there's also coral trees, which is an erythrina species. There's plants in this area. There's a lot of, in fact, we've just had incredible aloes flowering all over this area, which is a winter flowering plant, a lot of varieties of aloes. So yeah, basically most plants that are full of nectar they would really love.
Yeah, for sure. Just lucky we've got some. It's the right time of the year for the weeping boerbeans at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's but as you say, I mean, getting back to Josh, you can quite easily at this time of the year, when it's getting quite dry and quite hot, and the birds have had quite a long winter, you can sit under a weeping boerbean like this. I mean, this is a tiny little one. It's, I don't know if you can see, but it's probably, most of it is a lot shorter than I am. This time of the year, you can sit under a weeping boerbean tree, and Kerry Clive, I mean, you can attest. I mean, you can quite easily record maybe a good 20 species of birds. Almost all the sunbirds you get in the area can be found in one tree. A lot of weavers, and even under the trees, you'll get a lot of animals that'll be eating the insects, and so also insect eaters will love these trees. Incredible trees.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I know we've done that a lot when we're walking or with guests. When they are around, we just sit under a tree and watch to see what comes, because you're going to get almost everything. It's amazing.
It is. It's just the best. Just to sit and chill and just see what comes.
Yeah.
For sure.
We're definitely having a lot more action from animals than birds at the moment.
Well,
Oh,
they all got a
fright.
fight. We do have an Inyala at that different pan though.
Gee, I was hoping I was almost right there with the line that I predicted today.
Oh, can you imagine if that would happen?
Straight above them, yeah.
Oh, we've got 2 Crested Franklins. Let's try and get them into the frame. There we go. I'm
In
going
the
to zoom
meantime,
in
while
quickly.
you're on the Franklins,
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and move to another spot here.
Perfect. There we go.
don't know.
Yeah, so you can see it's got that beautiful crest.
Hello everyone. Hello everyone. From andBeyond.
Hi, it's Josh and Dylan. Sorry guys, we can't hear you too well. What have you got in frame there?
So we'll speak up. It's a little windy here, but we've been really lucky to find a purple roller.
Oh my word, that's amazing. That is absolutely incredible. It's a little tough to see the colors, but yeah, I do know what they look like normally. Got a beautiful color to them.
They've got a beautiful white streaking that goes down their breast, which is quite special.
I see Damon and Jared have also come and joined the frame. Oh, there goes the roller.
Yes, hello everyone from andBeyond Pinder. Well, we're at the Sunbird estuary just to the east of our reserve. It's got a variety of water birds out here, and we've just had a flock of great white pelicans fly over.
Oh, cool.
Coming down onto the surface of the estuary, no doubt looking for some fish. Proving,
Yes, that's a lot, eh?
there you go. It's a big group of
Oh,
them.
what
Yeah.
a beautiful image.
Sure, you can hear the wind blowing in the background. Quite windy here. See how they're landing into the wind, coming in, landing here out.
No way.
And
That's
skiing.
amazing.
Look at all the flamingos as well around them. There's hundreds and hundreds of lesser and greater flamingos all around these pelicans.
Oh, wow.
My goodness, there must be hundreds to thousands of birds in that
There's-
area there.
It's unbelievable. There's
Oh my
flamingos
goodness.
all around us. Pelicans, they've just arrived. There's been a couple of pied avocets also we've been watching as they kind of sight their bills through the water, busy feeding.
Oh, that's a
Um,
beautiful bird.
And if it weren't for the wind as well, if you could be here and just listen to the sounds of the flamingos all calling all around us.
That must
There,
be
look at that.
incredible.
Jared doing a fantastic job with the Swarovski spotting scope to
Scanning them around.
scan, just give you an idea of the landscape we're currently in. We're standing kind of on the edge of like a floodplain grassland that goes into, or like almost like a marsh that goes into the estuary, and it's all mud flats around us. So as I mentioned, quite a couple of different wading birds. We've even seen some of the summer migrants starting to arrive back from the northern hemisphere. So like the ruffs, one or two common sandpipers and common greenshanks, all arriving, coming back to this area to feed in the mud flats here.
Pretty incredible. I don't think we've seen any of the migrants back on Pinder's side. So what a nice opportunity to have so many different locations on camera at the same time.
Absolutely.
From Didi, I hope you're watching with all the sunbirds that he had with the Scotia to a beautiful wetland like that is just incredible. And just to
Absolutely.
give everyone an idea, I mean, it's not far apart whatsoever. I don't even know, probably about 100 kilometers or so away from each other, maybe not even that.
Well, maybe not even, yeah. Within, very short drive of each other.
For sure.
And and just like Didi was saying, now changing of the seasons, and like you were saying, Kerry, exciting to see some of the migratory birds starting to come back. Like the yellow-billed kites coming back from further north in Africa. We're keeping a lookout, see if maybe there's a couple of those flying overhead.
Oh, I see you had a pelican in the screen there as well.
Like landing or sitting there in the water in amongst the flamingos. So there we go in the foreground. Looks like some greater flamingos. See a little bit paler in color.
Yeah.
And then slightly bigger as well. And I think
Sorry
behind
to
the ones that
interrupt
we're
you,
looking
Damon.
at. Oh, go ahead.
We just had a question on how many bird species. Helen was asking how many bird species there are on Pinder.
So
On
there've
Pinder-
been. Oh, sorry, Damon. Oh, you can answer it if you want.
Clive, go ahead. Sorry, Clive, you go ahead.
So we've had close to 450 species recorded, and in a like typical day's birding, you could get a good 100 and I'd say 130, 140 species in a full day's birding. That's it's a very diverse reserve, so there's a lot of different habitats that we can go to. Where we are at the moment, and where this little red-eyed dove is that you can see sitting up in the tree, we're at a lodge here on Pinder called Homestead, which is kind of surrounded by the sandveld woodland around here. But you go through to the more southern parts of the reserve where there's big grasslands. There's patches of sand forest here, which you might know have some really incredible birds. So, Helene, there are a lot of different species you can see. And yeah, a good day's birding, you can get some really, really special species as well here.
Sorry
Damon,
to interrupt there, Clive. Have a look there at those pelicans now, everybody. Look at how they're starting to bob their heads into the water, busy feeding, and look how they're moving in a group, and they'll feed together and kind of work off of each other. So as one bird disturbs fish, the other might be able to snap it up, and by feeding in a group like that, they can help to kind of surround fish or corral them to catch them. Look at how they dip their head down and they lift their heads up. Almost
That
like
is incredible to see.
Almost like a little gear. The head goes down, the body catches up, they lift it out, and then they dip it in again. And just so impressive seeing them flying overhead. Such massive birds. They look like fighter jets or bombers coming into land.
They really do. It always surprises me. So we don't see them landing on Pindar too often, but we do see them because we're quite close to the estuary where you are now. We do see them flying over every now and then. Very impressive birds. And how amazing, so many different species. It's also interesting to see the lesser and greater flamingos quite close to each other. It's a very nice comparison of the two.
Most definitely. We just now had, unfortunately, it's difficult for us to show them to you now because whenever we try and move, the flamingos move. So we've kind of come to a truce that we stand here and the flamingos stay where they are, where we can still film them. But it was nice to see the two species next to each other to not only compare the kind of the differences in terms of their plumage, but also just the size as well. There's a couple looked like they were taking off there. Oh, Daryl looks like he's found a Samango monkey there.
And Kerry and Clive have a sorry, you guys can't leave me. You can't leave me out of the show yet, but yeah, there's awesome Samango monkeys, which is a really incredible mammal to see as well in southern Africa.
I think we've got. Sorry, Daryl. I was saying we've got two of the special mammals for this area. You with the Samango monkeys, us with the little red duiker.
Ours looks like an old duiker as well. He's busy getting grey. If you look on his neck, you'll see he's starting to go grey. Your Samango monkey looks much younger. Good looking chap.
Yeah, good condition. I've actually got two. Yeah, it looks like possibly two males.
Oh,
fantastic. Another one. They're pretty relaxed.
Oh wow!
And those of beautiful. Those
For
of
sure.
those of you that are watching will probably know these up in East Africa as a blue monkey. I see also they've been quite recently split. So in South Africa, we actually have two different subspecies of these Samango monkeys. There's one that's further south towards the Midlands and the Eastern Cape, and then up here in north of the Mfolozi River is a different subspecies, which is pretty awesome for South Africa.
See, Didi, we've got a question. Mike is asking if it's safe to bird on foot in this area or region, saying next time he comes to Africa, it would be nice to spend at least half of the time birding on foot rather than from a vehicle.
Sure, yeah. Mike, for sure. It's incredible to be walking on foot and birding on foot, especially with us. The andBeyond guides are incredibly well trained and highly trained for walking. Probably one of the safest companies you can walk with. And we have incredible walking opportunities. Pindar, for example, where Kerry and Clive are now, is there's 7 different habitat types. So you, as I was saying earlier, there's almost 450 bird species that you can see. And walking on foot, there's so many other things that will come along as well.
We've just spotted an emerald spotted wood dove. It's also busy just... and he flew.
I just flew just to the right.
Oh, just to the right. Okay, I'm going to try and get him in frame again. Just having a quick scan and look before... Oh, there he is. Just to make sure that it's safe before I think he comes down to drink. So hopefully we'll be able to catch that on camera. I'd love to see. I'm sure, Daryl, you know about that beautiful color on the side of their wings. So we'll hope to catch that as well.
Yes.
Can't believe that's a mango
In
monkey
slow-mo if you
as
can.
relaxed. That would be amazing. Can you imagine? It's incredible around a little pan here how careful the birds are just before they drink. I mean, we've seen things like little sparrowhawks, African goshawks, crowned eagles, all sorts of
Black sparrowhawk.
black sparrowhawk, all sorts of things coming down and looking to hunt in an area like this. So most of the birds are pretty careful before they come to drink.
Yeah. And then talking about, now you reminded me about these raptors. One of the incredible raptors we have in this area is of course, and very close to where Clive and Kerry are, is the crowned eagle. It's a really magnificent raptor, and there's actually a nest. There's actually a couple of nests in Punda, and their favorite diet is this little chap that I'm looking at right now, and other monkeys. So we also have a vervet monkey in this area. So there's two species of monkey between myself and Kerry and Clive, which is only about sort of 40 kilometers apart.
Hi there, Daryl. Hi, Daryl.
Hey, Josh,
we've got
Dylan.
Crested Guineafowl feeding on the lawns here. Helmeted
Oh,
Guineafowl, sorry.
beautiful.
That's still wishing
I think I think you read my mind, because I'm just about to. I'm gonna have to now try to find the crested, because I saw them earlier. So we'll forgive you.
Helmeted Guineafowl making their way
Fantastic.
past the sausage trees at andBeyond Kirkman's camp. Is he picking things off the ground? Quite shy birds. They're hard to get close to, but if you watch them for long enough, it can be very rewarding. You can often see their little interactions with one another, especially when one of them finds a food source. Another will often chase it away with a flap of the wings and a scurry of feet. So it's quite fun to watch.
That lawn at Kirkman's camp is just phenomenal for wildlife. Hey, Josh.
Yeah, we've been really lucky over the past few months, Daryl, especially now during South Africa's winter time. The lawn is still a good source of food for not only these helmeted guineafowl, but a lot of different bird species. We had the purple roller earlier, catching insects on the lawn,
Oh,
bunches of nyala. And now we've got the blacksmith lapwing also moving across the lawn here. So it would have flown up from the river, probably just to get out of the wind that's feeding behind on the lawns and the grass here.
is it quite windy up there?
Very windy, yeah. We seem to have a bit of a cold front coming in this afternoon.
Sure, so it's heading our way.
Yeah, I think everyone's jealous of that delightful sunlight you have there, Daryl.
Oh, I chose a good spot today. It was looking pretty gloomy, and I'm quite a high altitude up here as well, so I'm very lucky. So where's the... We're expecting a leopard to come out, especially being in the Sabi Sand, expecting a leopard to come out, grab one of those guinea fowls there.
We were certainly scanning the rocks earlier in front of the lodge down in the Sand River, hoping that just maybe we'd see a leopard walk across them. But if there was a leopard nearby or a bird of prey, like Daryl was talking about the crowned eagle earlier, there have been records of crowned eagle in the Sabi Sands where Dylan and I are, but mainly we see the martial eagles. And if a martial eagle or a leopard were around, these guinea fowl would be alarm calling, and it would certainly alert us to the presence of that predator.
That'd be great, eh?
They're not that reliable. If you are looking for a leopard, to follow up or go looking for guinea fowl that are alarm calling, you could find any number of predators, particularly birds of prey. But if you do find the guinea fowl perched in a tree and alarm calling, there's a chance there could be a leopard nearby. But these ones all look very relaxed at the moment, just meandering along the lawn at Kirkman's camp.
Sure. Josh, Dill, I don't know if you saw the question from Josh as well, actually. He asked about, I don't know if you want to answer it, but about migratory raptors that we would be excited to see in South Africa. So Josh to Josh.
We haven't really started getting any migratory raptors just yet, but particularly in the summertime, we would be expecting to see things like the Wahlberg's eagles, which come here to nest during the summer months. We also sometimes see lesser spotted eagles, which usually come here also in the summer to feed on the abundance of termites that can come with the summer rains. Yeah. And then also the yellow-billed kite, which I believe there was one seen about 2 days ago. So it's quite an early migrant. Yeah, fantastic. Coming
I
down
saw
very-
actually, yeah, I saw one yesterday actually flying over this area.
Yeah, they're quite beautiful birds. Do flock down quite a number of them as well. And then also the common or steppe buzzard is also one of the birds that do come in. Spend a bit of time down here. Probably one of the most exciting ones that you can see, especially down on the Sand River or on the Sabi River, which borders the southern end of the reserve, are things like the Amur falcon. Those are always wonderful to see. To see flocks of them flying around the riverbed is really exciting.
Yeah, it's magnificent up in the lower veld when you get those flocks in the evenings just perched on all those dead trees. The Camp Ngala private game reserve is, when I was there in December, it was unbelievable, all the falcons just flying around, hawking insects in the evenings, perched up on all the dead trees. Yeah, you're right, incredible.
Speaking of small raptors, Daryl, a sighting we can share with you from a few weeks ago. We had a really wonderful sighting of a little sparrowhawk, which was catching bats, which were flying out of their roost near Kirkman's camp. So it was perched in a big dead tree, and almost every night for about a week it would catch one or two little free-tailed bats as they came out of their roosts. That was quite incredible.
Wow, jeez, that is awesome. Acting like a batwalk.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
These Samanga monkeys have actually been waiting fairly patiently for these erythrina trees to drop their flowers. Rather than just climb up into the tree, but they've been waiting on the ground eating these beautiful erythrina flowers.
Sounds fantastic, Didi. We've just had a group of greater flamingos that have fed their way in our directions and are much closer to us. We had a bit of a better view of them. And also in the foreground, just in front of them, you can also see there's some red-billed teals just on the edge of the marsh there.
Nice.
We've got a trumpet to hornbill.
Trumpet to hornbill.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
Yeah. It's almost right into the sun, so you probably can't see any colors, but you can see the size of the bill there, and it's massive. Look at that size. So, yeah, pretty. I was very, what's the word I'm looking for? I was very
skeptical.
Yeah.
That we would actually get it in, but we're lucky we're using the telescope this afternoon, and we've got the NL Pure binoculars with us as well. So pretty amazing to be able to scan with these two.
Scan with these and then look through the scope. It's quite a treat this afternoon.
And Clive, what's your experience been like with those NL Pures? You're quite lucky to get your hands on them so early.
Yeah, no, pretty amazing, Jared. Like, I haven't been able to put them down. My binoculars I have will never be the same again. No, but it's just so crisp and clear looking through them. They're really, really nice to use. There's actually a question right now, virtual bird fair. What equipment are the guys using? So yeah, as we were just saying, there's a couple of us using Swarovski scopes. There's others using the Swarovski binoculars. They're the new NL Pures.
Aren't even released yet. How spoiled are we to be able to use them before being
very, very
released
lucky.
on the 1st of September?
Yeah, so that's pretty much all the equipment we're using. And I mean, this trumpet to hornbill, for instance, now is probably 100 meters away from me. And it's so clear and crisp. See that? See that?
and what
Oh,
we-
Brian,
What
that's
I
very
forgot to
nice.
mention is that we're also using the VPA, so the variable phone adapter, to connect onto all of those pieces of equipment we're using. But I see Brian and Seth have some buffalo. That's pretty amazing. They're trumping our zebra.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hello, everybody from the south of andBeyond Pindar Private Game Reserve. We're at a small pan in some open savanna and been lucky enough to have a whole herd of buffalo come down and drink. It does mean that they've chased every bird away, unfortunately. But we're not complaining.
We've done as much mammal watching this afternoon as bird watching, actually.
Yeah, definitely. We had some zebras a bit earlier, a little red duiker, nyala. Oh, and
we
you got rhino.
Yes,
And-
and two
and
white
an
rhino
oxpecker.
in the background.
With an oxpecker in its nose. That's pretty fantastic.
Yeah, there you go, mammals and birds.
Yeah, 2 for 1.
Yeah, that's a red-billed oxpecker there. These two white rhino have actually been in the area all afternoon, and I don't know if they heard these buffalo coming down, but they sort of got up and started moving towards the waterhole as the buffalo did, which was fantastic to see the two species together. Let's go back to the buffalo. There's a whole herd of them here in the water. Quenching their thirst after a fairly warm late winter's day.
At least it looks sunny in the south. For those of you who don't know, us and Brian and Seth are all on the same reserve, but just completely different ends of the reserve, probably 30 or so kilometers away from each other.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in fact on the other side of the Lobombo Mountains to you.
Yeah.
That
And
we
so
are.
very
Completely different
climates
birds.
even across. Yeah.
Yeah.
We are starting to have a little bit of sunlight coming out. You can see this hornbill starting to groom a little bit, but still not nearly as sunny as what you're experiencing.
Yeah, look at that sun there. Ooh.
Quite amazing.
Jealous, eh?
Brian, are you also using a telescope? You quite zoomed into all of those buffalo there. Oh, and an oxpecker again.
Correct, yeah, no, I'm on a Swarovski spotting scope here with my trusty SLCs around my
Whoa.
neck.
Oh my word, what happened there?
This chap arrived. Hold on, let me get into him.
Oh.
Terrifying
thought I'd-
zebra.
See a zebra chase a herd of buffalo. That's quite crazy.
Yeah, he just walked in and the buffalo who all had their heads down drinking. I think, of course, they were a bit nervous anyway. And they heard the hooves approaching and decided it was time to go.
Have you had many birds there this afternoon?
Yes and no. We've had some of the usual suspects that one might expect in grassland like this. A lot of smaller seed eaters like common waxbill and southern grey-headed sparrows. We've seen some crowned lapwings, red-billed quelea, and of course the uber common Haridar ibis has been around. But we're hoping for some more birding action in terms of lemon-breasted canary perhaps, or even yellow-fronted canary, all coming down to drink in this late afternoon. I'm going to unclip my phone and just let you see the bigger picture here around us. So bear with me a moment.
While you're doing that, Brian, I just wanted to say to Josh and Bill, there's, I promise, some crested guineafowls. There they are. Also, found in mainly a forest species of guineafowl, and found in quite isolated patches actually in the interior of the country, besides the coast. Awesome to see two species of guineafowl this afternoon. But wow, look at that. That's an awesome view there, Brian and Seth.
Yeah, absolutely beautiful. The Lobombo Mountains in the background with that lovely sunshine on them. Two white rhino, I don't know if you can see them. And then, yes, upwards of 50 buffalo around us.
Oh.
And then there's this single zebra by itself running around. And the fact that it is by itself is probably why it's a little spooked. You know, they're usually with their family groups, and this one may have been separated somehow. and is looking for them. So he's very active, and that's of course disturbing the herd of buffalo a little bit. Although they're not too stressed out, given that drinking is the priority in their lives at this point in the day.
I don't know if you can see as well, I've got a male paradise, African paradise flycatcher above the Guineafowls. How awesome is that little view? Quite incredible, Brian and Seth, the difference from where I am, where it's sort of coastal scrub forest up here, and how green it is. Pretty dry down there, which makes that little pan you at very valuable this afternoon.
Absolutely, Daryl. Yeah, that's why we're here, is that water at this point in the dry season, you can be sure is going to attract all sorts of life, from larger mammals to some of the smaller birds that we are hoping to still see. Really spectacular here. White rhino are still in the background. And for those of you who might be wondering about the horns of these two white rhino, they have been removed on purpose to make them less attractive to poachers, as a way of trying to protect our population of white rhino here. You can see there's a couple of red-billed oxpeckers hopping around and inside of the ears of that one. Very tolerant animal, maybe not so much. Dux, what do you have there in the Okavango Delta?
Good afternoon, Brian. Dux Mareja from andBeyond Becha in the Okavango Delta. I just got visited by the warthog here, one among those animals that hangs around the camp this time of the year. Otherwise, a couple of birds that I saw in the lagoon. It's quite a distance for you to see, but I'll try and point it out. Yeah. Your favorite bird, the pygmy geese, they are pretty much this. Yeah, otherwise, right there. So you should be able to see the pygmy geese. Can you see something on the quite
we
hazy,
can,
but
it is
yeah,
quite
there
far
they
away,
are.
unfortunately. It's just so lovely to be looking at water in the
quite far away,
Delta.
huh? Yeah, the flood started receding, and then quite a few birds are accumulating at pools like this one here. This morning we had a couple of intermediate egrets. Some elephants are coming to dig just on the fringes of the floodplain. Pretty much a busy place this time. We haven't seen our wild dogs for a few days. That's why you see this warthog here. It's just at leisure. Other than that, the lodge is packed up. You won't see much. Waiting up until whenever the guest comes in and we open up this magnificent lodge here. I'm trying to find the warthog again. Oh, yes.
Was he having a wallow there?
Otherwise, yes.
Cooling himself off?
Well, there's about 4 warthogs that got established.
Dux, we're losing you. I can't hear you. I'm not sure if everybody else can. So lovely to have some views of Botswana's Okavango Delta there. And as Dux said, hoping to open up andBeyond Ngabecha Safari Lodge as soon as we can. Anyway, back to andBeyond Pinda Private Game Reserve here. Still with huge amount of pachyderms and the odd red-billed oxpecker on the back of them. There's another. So we're going across to another part of the Okavango Delta to Karana. Katie, how are you?
Good afternoon, Brian. Good afternoon.
That's a beautiful view.
Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Yes, wonderful.
doing?
My name is KD. Here in the Karana Okavango tented camp operated by andBeyond. It's my pleasure to join you on this live bedding event, but at the moment it will be really interesting for me to show you the view of the lagoon. The Okavango Delta is made up of a myriad of channels, so there's a channel that goes in front of the lodge here. And I don't know if you can see straight ahead. I have got a pod of hippopotamus there.
That's fantastic. We are having something of a big mammal afternoon, aren't we?
Thank you very much. Yeah, so it's really interesting, and this is the view of the lodge here. There are quite a number of bird species that you can see here. Pearls fishing owls have been seen hunting here, especially at night. It's one of the special bird species you can see in the Okavango Delta.
Yeah. When last
Sometimes
did you see
we
one,
see the
Katie?
wattled cranes here. Not here at the moment, but one of the guides actually saw one fishing straight in front of this lagoon in front here. The ones that I've been seeing recently, it's wattled cranes. I've been seeing them here. African jacanas. I've also been seeing recently lesser jacanas not far from this spot. The Goliath Herons. And I don't know, I'm trying to bring in, I've just quickly picked up a squawk heron. Of course, it's slightly far away from where I am here. So yeah, it's very interesting to be here. It's quite one of the wonderful and splendid spots to actually do bedding here. Saddle-billed
You're
storks,
telling me,
we've been seeing
Katie.
them recently here. So thank you.
Absolutely magnificent. And nice to have water in the
Super.
channels in front of the lodge, hey?
Absolutely, it's quite fantastic considering that last year we had a slightly different year because it was drought and the river had no water at all. So it's really fantastic. So in this lagoon here, at the moment we have got a resident pod of hippopotamus. In the afternoons when it warms up, we get bull elephants coming here to take a shower. I've also wanted to show you some water lilies here, but quite a lot of bull elephants have actually feasted on them. So there's only very few left around here.
Oh, well. Yeah, they feed on the tubers of those water lilies, don't they?
Absolutely.
Oh, that is just a magnificent sight.
Yeah. So I will hopefully get back as soon as I pick up any of the bird species much closer here. But it is actually iconic to have a lot of water here. So all the water activities are actually available here. We actually enjoy the mokoros, we enjoy the boating, and of course we are also able to drive around to see quite a number of different bird species and different animal species that do occur in the mighty Okavango Delta.
That's fantastic, Katie. Just thought
Super.
I'd have a look at a bird that I've got coming down around the pan of water here. That's a crowned lapwing. That's picking off insects that are being disturbed by the activity of these buffalo and zebra and the two white rhino.
Oh, okay. Super. I can see it. That's really wonderful, eh?
Yeah.
It's a long time since I saw some crowned lapwings there.
Okay. Which other lapwings you are likely to see up there in the Okavango Delta?
There's blacksmith lapwing. We also get the white crowned lapwings, long-toed lapwings also do occur here. So yeah, it is actually interesting, quite a number. And there's the most special one that we also get, the small one. In fact, is not a lapwing, the three-banded plover.
Okay. Yeah, that is one that we'll find down here on the east coast of South Africa. But some of those other lapwings you talk about are very special. Ones that we won't see here.
Absolutely. Super, yeah.
Josh and Dylan.
Hey, how's it going?
Excellent, thanks. What do you have there?
Buffalo were quite something. And now the zebra that you haven't got, quite exceptional. I can't see it right now, but it's I know that it looks nice and sunny and all the other locations, which is so beautiful. So we hope that you guys enjoyed doing some live birding, some live mammal watching, and just the scenery that Africa have been able to show you the NL Pure binoculars, Swarovski NL Pure binoculars that are coming out as of the 1st of September. This is them here. Use a few days, and the most striking thing about these binoculars is the clarity is just impeccable. I mean, the entire of the bird or animal that you're watching, everything around it, the leaves, everything is just so crystal clear. And we thought we'd show you how some of the guides are actually using their binoculars and their scopes. The other thing we're using, so this little thing here, this is to hold your phone. And then this is sort of an eyepiece, I guess, that clips onto the eyepiece of the binoculars. So really, it's as simple as this, and a little twist to the side, which is a little harder than it looks actually. And there you go. So that's how they sit on your binoculars. And then you would put your phone in there, and the phone looks straight through the binoculars, and you can get a great view of the animal or the bird. And so now we're actually going to put Dylan's phone back inside the variable phone adapter attached to the binoculars. And we're going to show you the stunning view that we have from andBeyond Kirkman's camp at the moment. Has been tough, but we have a magnificent view of the iconic Sand River that flows in front of camp for most of the year.
What a difference that makes. Thanks, Josh.
And yeah, we hope you guys are good with all of our andBeyond guidance.
Daryl, what is it that you've got there in your hands?
Sorry, I was hoping that some of our guests watching the show could tell us what this is. Got a couple of seconds if you can tell us, otherwise I'll show you a picture in the book. Very, very special bird. We've actually got another feather. We've got a couple of feathers actually down here, and then I've actually got another one that will give everyone a bit more of a clue, a bit of a different color. You can see that green there. Yeah, beautiful. I'm now in the scarp forest, and there's quite a lot of these feathers here. But anyway, I'll show you a quick picture in the book, and that's the special bird. I was hoping to see it, but these feathers come second best. It's called an arena trogon, and a beautiful bird.
Gorgeous, Daryl.
I think that buffalo also likes the sound of the green trogon.
Absolutely. I think it was just a bit surprised to hear talk of one out in the open savannas here.
But dry for the trogons, eh? Yeah, beautiful. Look at that reflective, or the green iridescence there.
Ah. Hello again, Brian and Seth. Oh, what have you got in the small little bird running there?
It's an African pipit. I'm going to try and keep it in sight. There's been a few of them running around.
Not easy with the little.
No, that little run and stop of a pipit. But it's certainly the
we were
most
having the same.
species, yeah?
Sorry, Brian, carry on.
No, go for it, Clive.
I was going to say we were having the same problem with the little yellow-breasted apellis earlier, trying to follow it while it was flitting through the bushes.
Yeah, unless there's something like a buffalo to get the birds to perch on, like these red-billed oxpeckers.
Much easier.
Or a tree like that dove you're watching. Yeah, birds are all over the place.
Yeah.
For sure. Our dove here is just catching the last rays of sunlight. I think we're lucky enough that it's cleared up a little bit more here as well. So we're probably experiencing more similar weather to what you are at the moment.
Fantastic.
It's quite amazing watching this dove trying to balance, especially when there's a bit of a gust of wind, trying to balance on that tiny little branch he's sitting on.
Yeah, it has chosen the sturdiest of branches, hasn't it?
See, maybe it moves now.
Now, you haven't had any quailfinches or orange-breasted waxbills or anything yet this afternoon?
You would have heard me sending up fireworks from this side of the reserve. No, we certainly were hoping. We were certainly hoping those are two of the target species for this particular biome and a little waterhole like this late in the dry season. And earlier this afternoon, we actually did hear quailfinch flying overhead, but they didn't settle, unfortunately. And since we've been sitting here, we haven't had any further activity from them or the orange-breasted waxbill. We did have a lot of common waxbill earlier. There's been some yellow-fronted canary. So no shortage of beautiful little seed eaters here this afternoon, though. Along with, of course,
you've got a question. You've got a question from Ross Duplessis, Brian and Seth. How many ticks would an oxpecker consume in a day?
Ross, that is an exceptionally good question, and I don't have an answer for you, because it's not the only thing that they feed on. Funnily enough, they feed on ticks primarily, but it's largely the blood inside the ticks that they're after. So if there's a wound on an animal, they've been known to packet it and drink the blood directly, so becoming a bit of a vampire bird in a way. And they'll also even eat things like earwax out of a large animal like this. So their relationship with these large animals is largely a mutual symbiotic one, but not always. Sometimes they become parasitic themselves, just like the ticks.
Very interesting stuff that I don't think we always know about. We always just assume they only eat the ticks.
Indeed. I think we're going to go and see what Jared and Damon are having a look at on the shores of St. Lucia. No, not yet. These buffalo have stopped because there's a small herd of impala that are walking in to come and have a drink. Let me get onto them if I can. There we go. See, she's even speeding up a little bit as she approaches the water. And she's the first of a group of, gosh, there's a few of them, 15, 20 perhaps. And it would not surprise me if they've been just waiting in the background for these larger mammals to move out of their way, the herd of buffalo and the rhino that we hear. Being larger, more powerful animals, the impala sort of know their place in the pecking order. And I just waited for the water to clear before coming down to drink, although this buffalo clearly hasn't finished. Some beautiful light on these impala. A mixed herd of some females, some males. Delicate and beautiful antelope that they are. Often maligned as being the commonest of the antelope species. I think among the prettiest.
Yeah, I agree. We went from a big red-eyed dove down to a little emerald-spotted wood dove, and I realized I also cut you off there. Sorry, Brian, you were going to answer that question.
Yeah, Tom is just asking what our favorite sound of the bush is. He says for himself it's the fire-neck nightjar, and quite honestly that is one of the iconic sounds of the African bush, certainly at night. I think for me it might actually be, and this is a little bit boring perhaps, but it might well be the call of the African fish eagle that is for me the most iconic sound of the bush. Absolutely beautiful.
I was actually going to say, sorry, I was actually going to say, well, as we live close to the sandforest, so we hear a lot of African wood owls in the evening. So that for me is probably one of the more special sounds that we have.
Hmm.
Oh, but I see, Brian, I think we are almost up in terms of time of birding for this afternoon. And so,
Absolutely, and it's been a huge pleasure. Thank you.
yeah, so we're just going to end off and show you where we've been birding this afternoon. This beautiful little section of the homestead
Oh,
here.
look at that sunset as
With
well.
a beautiful sunset in the back. And then the little pan that we've had in front here. So that's what we've been looking at. Looks pretty different from what you were seeing through the telescope a little bit earlier. But we really hope that you've enjoyed birding with us this afternoon.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll see you soon again. Have a lovely rest of your day. And thanks for joining.
Yeah,